Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Am I the Asshole? If you enjoy hearing Reddit stories, it would really support the channel if you could like or subscribe. Without further ado, let's dive into our first story. Am I the asshole for not allowing my foster parents to put parental controls on the iPhone my biological parents bought me? I, 15, have lived with my current foster parents since I was 9 years old, but I've been in foster care since I was 6. I will call my foster parents Henry and Aaron. I got a new phone as an early Christmas present from my biological dad. It is an iPhone 16 Pro Max, which is the phone I wanted, so I'm very happy about it. My previous phone was an iPhone 11, and it was bought by Henry and Aaron. On my old phone, Henry and Aaron had set up loads of parental controls on it, so I couldn't download any apps without them approving it. I couldn't turn off Share My Location. I couldn't change my passcode. It would lock everything except their contacts at 8 p.m. every night until after school. And they had a time limit on YouTube, so I could only watch it for 30 mins within the time where my phone was unlocked anyway. And I could only go on websites that they approved of, like there was a list that I could go on, and I couldn't go on anything that they didn't manually add to that list. These all really annoyed me, but whenever I asked for them to be turned off, they told me that they bought the phone, and so these were the rules. Now, I was given my new phone by my dad on Monday, and I haven't used it yet because they're telling me that I have to let them put the same restrictions on the new phone as they did my old phone. I said no, because that isn't fair. I should be allowed to use my phone as my dad says because he paid for it. I said to them that my dad paid for the phone, so it was his choice, and that he doesn't want me to have those restrictions on. But now, they've changed and said it don't matter who bought the phone, even though that was their whole point before. Now they're saying that because I am living with them, I have to follow their rules. And the rule for having a phone in this house is that they put restrictions on it. I don't think that is fair at all, considering they didn't buy the phone. I don't see how they can do this. Before I got home from school on Monday, they took the phone out of the box, my dad sent it in, and set up all the restrictions, and now I'm trying to figure out a way to take them off. I am thinking about complaining to my social worker because it is not fair that they put these restrictions on my phone even though they didn't pay for it. Edited to add, I am not going to be on much longer because I am almost out of my computer time. Thank you everyone for your advice. It's 8 p.m. now, so I'm off. Thanks everyone for taking the time to talk with me. OP not going to say you are in the wrong because of your age. I am also not going to say your carers are in the wrong based on the information you've provided. I am coming from the position that I previously was a foster carer as well as a worker within the law enforcement system. Your biological father is making a power play here. You may not see it because generally speaking, kids in care tend to see even the worst parents as being on a pedestal. For whatever reason, you've been in foster care for the majority of your life. A good portion of that time has been under the roof of your current carers. Whilst I appreciate that at 15, you think you should be able to do what you want on your phone, you need to understand that your carers are most likely just looking out for your best interests. Your biological father, for lack of a better term, is throwing in a grenade. In my opinion, he may be doing this for a few reasons. 1, to prove to himself or your caseworker that he is a good parent, because deep down he knows he isn't. 2, to drive a wedge between you and your carers in exactly the way it appears to have. 3, because he cares about you genuinely and thinks that getting you an extravagant gift will somehow make up for you being in care since you were 6 years old. Honestly, it could be a mixture of the above. Regardless, though, he should have discussed such a gift with your caseworker and carers, if there is contact between him and them, to make sure it was okay, and so that he could discuss the rules surrounding usage of the phone with you. If you legitimately think that your carers are not doing what is in your best interests, then you should speak to your caseworker. Let them be the mediator, as they are basically in charge. There are possibly also things occurring in the background that you are unaware of. For example, the court or department in your jurisdiction that deals with children in care may want contact with your birth parents to only occur when they are aware of it. Your carers could simply be following rules that a court or your caseworker has outlined to them. If you think that they are on some level being reasonable because they care for you, then perhaps sit with them and discuss how, at age 15, you should have more freedom. This could look like having the parental controls, but with less restrictions, or it could be without the parental controls, but with your carers able to look at your phone, messages, photos when they feel there is a need and without notice. i.e., they know the unlock code to the phone. At the end of the day, it is about trust. Show them that you can be trusted with more freedom, then they'll likely be more willing to become more lenient as you get older. Try to make sure that regardless of how the conversation goes with your carers, that you keep your cool. Good luck. I feel so bad for OP because they can't see this for the plain manipulation by their biological parent that it is. No assholes here. They don't have a choice. The foster agency I worked with insisted that parental controls were on and were quite strict about what wasn't allowed. It's really common to prevent vulnerable minors being exploited, and if something happened to you while in their care, they could be prosecuted for not safeguarding you and also banned from fostering again. It sucks because this isn't your fault. It's not even that you're not trusted by them. They have to do this. The guidance for foster parents is insane, honestly. The amount of hoops you have to jump through to protect yourself from accusations are beyond belief. The My Bio dad should be the one to set the rules. Since he bought it, argument isn't going to fly, I'm afraid. He isn't your legal guardian and hasn't been for almost a decade. To lose custody of someone who is 6 and to keep it lost nearly a decade is a sign that the courts and the child welfare system don't see him as capable of making decisions like that. If you have rational reasons why some of their restrictions are too much, you can argue those. Well, that's another episode of Am I the Asshole in the books. I really appreciate all of you who made it this far into the video. Of course, if you enjoyed this video, it would really help the channel out a lot if you gave the video a thumbs up, subscribe, or leave a comment down below. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.